Hi everyone, this is the second beginner's folio. I have been working on it for the last day or so. It's larger than the first one. It measures, when completed, it measures 5 3/4 by 10. And it overlaps on the front. I had this Noel in my stash, and I had to use it because I forgot to put my magnet in, which I do frequently. So I put the magnet behind the Noel, and there was only one place it would fit, which is right here, and I intended to put a piece of red cardstock over it, but I will do that to cover it. And then I did bury my magnet here. So on the cover I have, from the sticker sheet, the word snow, and these are little what do you call these things, brads. And I just oh, I broke my fingernail again. I cut the legs off with some metal snips and just glued them on there so they look like they're stuck through, riveted in, but I didn't want to poke a hole in my front cover. Then I have the word magical, this little green ribbon that came from Tamara with the collection. This is Photoplace frosted, by the way. And then I had a die. I cut out a white poinsettia and some leaves and some holly berries and added that to the lower corner. Oh, and then I have the light, Christmas light paper around. This is my favorite paper from the whole collection, the little mittens. I have black ink all over my hands. I'm really not dirty, I'm just inky because I finished up my embellishments this morning. So inside the front cover, you have a little tuck spot here. Let me grab something to show you. I always do that. Forget my. And you can put something under here, a long narrow piece, or you could actually glue down a couple small photo mats if you wanted to, but I just wanted the paper to show, so I didn't put anything there. This one I didn't add any more to it because of the magnet being here, and the large magnets wouldn't fit behind the Noel. I had to use a small one, so I didn't want to put anything here that the smaller magnet wouldn't attach. So it unrolls this way, and we have the light paper there again. Okay, in this side we have a pocket, and I have 2 tags just on red cardstock with baker's twine, and those are using the We Are Memory Keepers angle punch, this one with the white handles. And then I did use a generic hole punch. I don't know what size it is. It makes real tiny little holes for the baker's twine. If you use a larger one, then you've got this gaping hole. And these are the cut aparts inside this double pocket, and I just put all of them on white so that you can journal or put photos on the back. I'm going to have to trim that fingernail before I catch it. There's 6 of them in here. There's a double pocket here that holds all of these. And these are 4 by 6 size. So those go back in there. These pockets are really roomy. And then 3 more. These just had the cutest cut aparts in them. Then on this side we have another pocket, and this white is not glued down. I just put it here to show you that you can attach a photo if you want to, and it would be 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. And then I have 4 tags in here. This one says Snow Day, and he cute, chill out. He would be cute on a card with a wobbler behind him. This one says Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Oh, I only have 3 in there. Oh, I know why I took one of them out and used it somewhere else. I did have 4. There's that one. And this one. And you could actually put a small photo here if you wanted to. And then it opens yet again. And we have a waterfall. And this little tag, this is the 4th one I took out of the other pocket to hold my waterfall shut. And it's just in the pink and teal. 4 of them, and then I did a smaller photo mat at the base. So it actually gives you 5 good size photos in this little tag. And then in this pocket on the far right side, we have an accordion. And it has spaces for 12 photos and journaling. So it goes like that, and that. And then I have 2 on the back. Then when you turn it over, it's like this, that, and that. Isn't that cute? It just makes the cutest little folio. So we got a book in a book. But this one is really easy to make. There's no chipboard in it. It's all made with the artisan cardstock, and I used the red and the frosted paper by Photoplay. Okay, so this goes back in here. Just ties it, rolls up like this, and like this. And this is my design team December project. So I hope you all enjoy it. Let me know what you think. I'd love to get your messages. And if you guys aren't aware of the hop, be sure you watch the hop. It started yesterday. Tamara did her video. Today is Cam Reynolds. And there will be, I believe there's 10 of us in it. It goes from the 1st through the 12th. And there will be prizes awarded. I don't know who's doing what, but I have one on my video. Mine will be up next Friday. So I hope you'll stay tuned for that. Alright, thanks everybody, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, we're ready to start our second beginner's folio. This time I'm using the red artisan cardstock. I have all my pieces cut out. I wanted to show you my prototype, what we're actually going to be making, and it's made with some scrap white cardstock that is pretty generic, and it does crack and split, so I just use it to do my prototype, but I would never make an album with it because it just doesn't hold up well. But I don't want to use my artisan for this and waste it, because that's what I want for my keep projects. Anyway, the album closes like my little clothespin's in the way. The album closes like this. And then when you open it, there will be something here, but it'll be very minimal because we're going to have a magnet in here. You will need 2, maybe 3 sets of magnets for this one. Then it's going to open this way, and you have a double pocket. Let me find a scrap piece of paper. You'll have a pocket here and a pocket here, and then you'll have a tag pocket here and a tag pocket here. And I just use this square punch and put one corner in to make a little notch on those. Then when you move it over, you'll have a waterfall in here with a little pocket at the bottom. And then on this side, you will have a pocket. I've just got paper clips holding it, or paper clips, clothespins holding everything together. This little fold out actually is an accordion, and it has room for 12 4x6 photos. And I think I'm going to put a magnet in here and on the back of this, so that when I put it in, it stays right there where I put it, and it doesn't fall out every time you open and close the book. So that is the game plan for this one, and it just rolls back together like that. And I'm using the red artisan cardstock and Photoplay's, I think it's called Frost or Frosted, one of the two, something like that. So what we're going to do to start with is we're going to take our first 2 pieces, which are 12, excuse me, 12 by 11. And this is your 11-inch side. So we want to glue, well, first we're going to score on it. Did the same thing I did last time. I wanted to glue it before I scored it. The first piece, let me get my measurements up here again so I don't tell you wrong. Okay, the first They're both cut identical this time, 11 by 12. And we're going to put the 12 at the top. And we're going to score at 3. Let me make sure I'm where you can see me. 3. I think 4 1/4. Yes, 4 1/4. And I like to go over them twice because this Artisan is pretty heavy cardstock, but it holds up really well. Then we're going to score at 10 and 11 1/4 right there. Okay, we'll lay that aside. The second piece with 12 at the top again. We're going to score at 5 1/4, 5 1/4. Excuse me. That's 6. Can't seem to shake this cold. And 10 1/4. Let me get a drink real quick. Get rid of that tickle. Goodness gracious. Okay, the last one was 10 1/4. So we're going to put this away for a minute. And we're going to join these two. Just a little bit of an overlap, like 1/4 inch. Actually, wait a minute. Let me get my... I think I overlapped all the way to this score line. Let me double check. That's this one. Yes, I did. I overlapped all the way to the score line. I don't want to tell you wrong. I did that last time. And I don't want to mess you up. Okay. So we're going to put our glue in this section. Then we're going to place this right over it, as close as you can get to the score line without going over it. Okay. Okay. Turn it where I can get a good view of it. Right like that. Okay. And the baby wipe, where'd they go? Here they are. Make sure I don't have any glue oozing out of there. Okay. I'm going to put my pen back in here so it don't dry up on me. Okay, now the scoreboard again. And we're going to do the same thing we did last time on the smaller version. But I think I was a little bit out of frame when I scored it, so I'm going to try to make sure I get over here farther where y'all can see better. Yeah, let me move just a little bit more. Scissors are in the way. Okay. So we want to start at a 1/2 inch, go all the way down, and then just scoot your paper up, or your cardstock, put your tool right back in that groove, and continue on down to the end. And then turn it around and do the same thing. And 1/2 inch again. Oops. A little bit farther. Went right off the scoreboard. Okay, we'll move it up. Put our finger right in there. Our scoring tool. And go right back down to the 12 inch again. Okay. Not going to get them off the shelf. Okay, so now we're ready to fold and burnish all of our score lines. So let's do these. Get some nice even creases. Make sure your edges are lined up really nice. And give it a good burnish. And we'll move to the next one. This is going to be one spine. This one. Each time you do that, line up your edges and make sure that your top and your bottom are flush with each other. And give yourself a good crisp crease. And always go from the inside out to the edges so you don't change that crease. Because if you're off here and you push this way, you could actually even make it worse. You don't want to do that. And then on this line, making sure we're lined up, and your score lines need to match too, so that when you roll this edge, you have one smooth, continuous rolled edge. Okay. Now we're down to the last 3. This thing's long. So we'll get these last 3. And one more. And we have our long edges to do. And everything's matching up really good. That's a good thing. Okay. Now these edges are so long, I'm going to just have to roll them towards me. But we'll still burnish from the inside towards the outside edges so that we don't change that fold at all. Okay. Burnish this. This is just that 1/2 inch score mark. And I'm going to use score tape on this to fold it under because I prefer the art glitter glue because of the humid area I'm in, but because art glitter glue dries up so fast, I can hardly get the whole thing glued down before it sets up on me. So let's put a piece of score tape on here. Over on this side, and we'll just roll it under. Okay. And you can use something narrow, but you want to put it close to the edge so you get a good smooth seal. I'm going to go all the way out to the edge. Looks like I'm going to need a new roll of score tape, doesn't it? Well, at least I made it across this length. Just about use that one. I got another one up here though. Okay, and then let's take our scissors and just snip just the tiniest little bit from the score line to the edge. Okay. We'll burnish this down. Make sure we got a good stick on that tape. And then we'll start at the center again. Okay, let's put the tape on the other side. We missed a little bit of this, sticking this down a while ago. I think I had my camera on the wrong setting. My fault, as usual. Okay, let's get another roll of score tape. Sorry for all the crackling noise. But I was too low to continue with that one. I don't like to break it during a long stretch like that if I can help it. I like it to be one continuous piece. So we're going to go back to the edge again on this side. Do the same thing we did on the first side. Oops, bumped the camera. Glad I didn't knock it over. Here's the one. And we'll go all the way out to the edge. Cut it off. Okay. Now, need to snip this edge again just so we don't have any overhang when we fold that down. Okay. Make sure tape's down good. And we'll pull that off and roll this side over. This must not be the very same thing Tamara's got, but it works. Without me tearing up my fingernails. Okay. Put that one off of there. Now let's start in the middle. Oh, I didn't fold this towards me to start with. I should have done that. Ugh. See, I get ahead of myself. Overzealous, it's called. Let's get a nice edge on that before I try to fold it over. Make sure it's squared away. Okay, now let's start in the middle again so you don't change your fold at all. Work out to the edges. Press it down. Give it a good burnish. Okay, this is the base for our next folio project. Okay, so this will eventually be your pocket on the folded inside. Remember I showed you in the prototype. Rolls this way. Let me burnish this again where that fold is. There. Goes this way, then it rolls this way, and this comes around. So that is our base of our folio. Now, the next thing we need to do, I'm going to cut my pattern papers before we go any farther, and I would advise you to do the same thing because some of the pockets need to go down first. Sometimes the background paper needs to go down first, so if you have them all cut, before we get started putting the papers down, then we don't have to keep stopping. So let me clip this together here. And before we glue anything down, we are going to put our magnets in place. And I'm going to use the large basic gray. They are right here. And everything I'm using in this video you can get from Tamara's store, countrycraftcreations.com. So she ships really, really quick. And you'll get them faster than you'll get them from anywhere, I promise you. Okay, so let's take our pieces, because the ones that are going to be scored, like the pockets, you'll need to score those so that you can get a measurement for your pattern paper. So this is the one little pocket that goes with the waterfall, and it's going to be scored at 1/2 inch on 3 sides. Whoops. It wants to slide. It's so little it's hard to get a hold of. So we're gonna, it's basically just more of a tuck spot than a pocket, but it gives you some way to fasten down your waterfall without another magnet. Okay, that is the 5.5 by 1.5. Let me get these out from underneath my scoreboard. All these little pieces. Okay, these are 2 pockets that are 5 by 4.25, 5 by 4.5, and they go here. Okay, so with the, I had to make sure which side to put up. With the 5 at the top, you want to score these as well, 3 sides at 1/2 inch. So once we have them all scored, then you can take a measurement, because actually from this score line to this score line is going to be your pattern paper, and from here to the top. So that's what you want to measure to cut. And this one goes this way. So I will get all my pattern paper cut, and then we'll be ready to start putting paper and pockets and what have you all together. From the 3 sides. And if you want to, before we get back together, you can taper these edges and then miter this so that... Okay, the next 2 we have are 4.5 by 4.25. And those go let me see. There's my ruler. Lost my ruler. Let me see. That is the 4. Looks like it's 4. It's 4.25. These need to be 4. Let me trim these real quick. 4 by 4.5. I changed them and I forgot to do that. 4 by 4.5. 4 by 4.5. I shouldn't have done that. 4. Cut the wrong side. 4.5. But I've got some more scraps. I'll cut another one. 4 by 4.5. So you'll have 2 of those, and you want to score them at 1/2 inch with the 4 at the top. You want to score I think I moved my scoreboard over. I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/2 inch. Okay. I'm going to lay that aside and remind myself to cut another one. And then we have the waterfall pieces. And these are scored at 1/2 inch with the long side up, and there's 4 of them. So we're going to score at 1/2 inch, at 1/2 inch. It's hard to get your finger in there and hold on to these smaller ones. There's 2. 3. Oops. And the 4th one. Okay, there's that. Okay, and then all we have left for the moment, we're going to save that according to last. The 3x10 does not get scored. The 3.5 by 11 is scored on 3 sides. So we're going to score it 1/2. And 1/2. So one thing I don't like about this scoreboard, your scoring tool sometimes slides right out of the groove and jumps over into the next one. It's irritating. But it's down in the part that's going to be folded under, so it's not hurting anything, but it's still aggravating. Okay, and there's that. That is all the scoring. So if you want to, you'll be able to cut your pattern paper, and then we'll go from there. So I will be back with you shortly, and we'll start putting this together. Alright guys, in a minute, we'll be back. Okay, I have all my papers cut and inked. It'll save a little bit of time. We can start putting some of them down, but there's definitely an order which some of them need to go down because some of them I have to tuck something under them. So this section here is where the waterfall is going to go. So we know we can put this paper down. So we'll do that, and we'll add the waterfall in a little bit. But we can get some of these base papers down and get them out of the way so they quit flying all over the place. Get them fastened down. And this is a real easy folio to put together, so if you are a beginner, no problems. You can do this. So we want to center these between the 2 score lines. Leave just a little bit at the top and the bottom. Move it over a hair down here at the bottom. Come on, turkey. There. There we go. And then we have this little piece cut for this spine. I like to put some paper in there just to kind of camouflage some of the, it just doesn't look as finished when you have all that solid color in the middle. So I cut a strip of this, and when you get done cutting your papers, then you'll have plenty of scraps where you can cut pieces for stuff like this, just little filler pieces. And that's going to go right there. Now this piece is going to go underneath this flap. I'm still froggy and I can't help it. I'm trying to get over this cold, but my health was already compromised earlier in the year, so I'm struggling to keep my head above water. But I'm going to persevere. I'm going to win this battle. I'll get rid of this cold. So there is some glue, and it comes out of this little metal tip. Very sparingly, so even though it looks like you've got a lot, you really don't. It doesn't give you a lot at one time. Pull this down just a hair. And we want to smooth that out. Got a very small working area here. Okay, now I cut 2 scrap pieces. A little 1-inch strip. I scored it in half and I kind of angled one end. And I want to put this up underneath this edge before I glue it down so that I'll have thicker pocket to put my insert in, because it's not going to have a lot of room to put my insert if I don't. So I'm going to put this in here, even with the edge, and then I'll put the other one on the other side. And you want your folded edge to the outside and the angled edge at the top, so you don't have a overhang on that edge. So we're going to put that in here, just below the top and even with the edge, like that. And then let's burnish this down here. These little pieces, they'll just help give us more of an expansion to get our insert in there. Because remember the 2 6 by 12 pieces I told you we would do last? That's what's going to go in here. And we need more room for the depth of that. And we'll save that towards the end of the project. Whoops. Let me put some clothespins on there to hold that down till it sets up good, because it's kind of thick. That should do it. Okay. We can move down a little bit, and we can put this pink piece in this gusset here. Okay. So we've got our pink piece down here now. Let's see if this is dry, set up where we can, yep. And we can put our strip on down here, which is, you can see I like this pink with the little mittens on it. It's just the prettiest little paper. So we're going to put that down here. Okay, I'm trying to stay off of this left side till the very last, because it's going to involve the front flap as well, and I like to keep that as much to the last as I can, because while you're scooting and moving everything around, I don't want it to get soiled or what have you. So I have this one. We're going to roll this panel towards the inside, and we can put this paper down. This one's going to have 2 pockets, and we'll come back and add our pockets after we get all our base pages down, because I've got so much paper floating around here. I need to get some of it fixed down. Okay, so we're going to, before I forget where everything goes, you know, need to get it attached. So we'll put this one in place, and each one of these has a very small red border. But you know, if you like a larger border, you can certainly cut your papers a little bit smaller than I cut mine. It's just a matter of personal preference. Okay, and I'm going to flatten this out so I can burnish that real good. See if I pick it up, everything that's on the bottom is going to go haywire. So there's that. Alright, and if we roll it in one more time, I have not cut anything for these yet. This is going to be the right side of the front, and I'm going to double mat it. And I did not ink that one yet, but I had them all inked. I guess I missed. I'll just lightly go over this. I don't want to put too much on it because it's going to be on a white background. But I didn't like the yellow right up against the red. So that's why I did the white. Kind of gives it a, and it'll have a little white border like that, and then we'll attach it here. And the dogs are barking again. Okay, so let's get this down on our white. Oops. There we go. Nice and even. Oh, that crazy phone is just going to have to ring. I know it's for my grandson, and I'm not going to worry about it. Now we'll put this one down. It'll quit in a minute. Well, I said it would. Somebody's pretty insistent. Goodness gracious. Okay. Well, goodness. They're not going to give up, are they? Let's press it down again. There, maybe it quit. Okay, there's that. Okay. So now we're going to have to go back to this side. And this goes over here. This is the double pocket, and it's going to be just a little bit different. So let's score this. This goes over here. I want to make the pocket before I attach this. This is the 3x10, and this is the 3.5 by 11. Yep, I think it. So let's burnish these, make our corners. I haven't mitered this. Always from the center out. Now we're going to miter these edges. And get it in the right place. And then we'll do these corners. Sure they don't overlap. That one does a little bit. Let me take a piece out of there. No, it doesn't. and that one doesn't. So we have nice good square corners. Never hurts to give it an extra burnish. It's going to go like this, and this is the paper for the top of that. So we can put that down. Seems like my granddaughter's having a hard time with her dog. She keeps hollering at her. If you hear background noise, that's what it is. Miss Nala's not minding very good for some reason. Okay. So this is going to go down here. Get my edge straight. And it's not straight. Get a hold of it. There it is. Okay. Now what I want to do is slide this up in here. See, you're going to have to trim a little bit off of this, otherwise it's going to buckle. But I don't want to trim off too much. I want it to be 1 inch, sticking out 1 inch. So I'm going to put a mark on here at 1 inch. And down at this end at 1 inch. See how much I have to take off. Just a hair. So let me trim off. Just a hair. See what that'll do. So I want it underneath that flap. And that'll work. So see, that's all I took off, was just that little bitty piece. Okay, so I'm going to put that down in there like that. But before I do, I want to attach this to it. So that means I have to trim just under all of this as well. See how much I need off, because I want to leave just a little red edge there. Let me put a little tick mark there, so I don't have to measure. Just inside that line. So right there's my mark. Now we can glue this down to that piece. And it's going to cover up my 1 inch mark, but that's okay. I can put another little mark on the top of this, just over towards the edge, so I can line it up straight, because I don't always do things straight. And it looks like I didn't take enough off of this yellow. I didn't leave myself a little edge. I thought I cut enough off. Let me cut just a hair of this yellow off. And hit it with the ink pad here at the top. There. The rest of it will be hidden. It's not going to be noticeable. So this is going to sit in here with a 1 inch overlap. About like that. and it'll go down on there. But I want this to be inside of this. What is that? Goodness gracious. Grandson. It's the grandkids. I guess they have to announce their arrival. Which actually means I have to trim a little bit off of this as well. Actually, I don't. Well, no, I don't. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to put just a tiny bit of glue in this seam here, just a smidge. If you can see what I'm doing there, just a smidge, because I want it to catch this yellow, but I don't want it to close up the pocket. I want it to be, let me see if that's even. Oops, I just moved it. Let me make sure it's even here. That is not quite an inch, but neither is that. But it's okay because it's even. It's just a little less than an inch. Almost 3/4. And this one needs to come in a little. That one keeps sliding. That one's not catching for some reason. Oh, because it's not over far enough. I'll put a little glue right there to catch it. Okay. Let's remove. Darn it. It's not catching it. I'm going to have, instead of doing it that way, I'm going to have to put the glue right along this red edge to make it catch. I was hoping to do it that way. But it's not wanting to catch. Okay. So let's go again. Oh, I went all the way to the edge. I don't need that. Let's measure this as, now it's 1 inch. That's 1 inch. Let me put a clip on it. And that is 1 inch. Let me make sure this is an inch again. Yep. Okay. Alright. I'm going to let that sit aside for a minute. Make sure the glue is good and dry. Now we're going to have to roll around to the front. I have to put this on last because I want to use a piece of ribbon on the front and I want to wrap it around here and bury it. So, here is that. This goes under here. This is my top piece, and it's also going to be on white. And let me hit that with the ink as well. Wrong dauber. let's add this to the white. I'm going to scoot this up here a little bit so I can glue this down. Running out of working room here. Put my glue on there. And put it right on there. Perfect. Okay. And this is going to mat right here. So let's get some glue on that. Just a little bit closer to the top. Here we go. Okay, let me push this down. I always burnish it from the wrong side. Okay, now I want to make a bow. Let me see what Tamara sent me here. I was thinking maybe the green might look really cute on it because there's a lot of green. Yeah, I like that on there really well. And this is her green seam binding. It is such a pretty color. I want to make a little bow. Let me find, I need a pin. Okay, I want to tie a bow to go around there. And it's not going to be a big bow because this is a small cover and I don't want the bow to overpower it. So what I'm going to do is use this highlighter. And I'm going to tie a knot twice. And slide it off the highlighter. And then you want to cut this. This is the piece that was around the highlighter. You just want to bring it up and cut it. And hold one end this way. And one in this way, and pull them really tight so that they lay flat. Then you can wrap this around like this. And so I only need enough to tuck under. And I'm gonna use some score tape for that. We'll use a piece of what we had left. Remember when I ran low on the last thing? And I said when we were doing these edges, I didn't want to let it have to piece it together. This is what was left. So we'll put it, yep, and we're right at the end of it. So we're going to put a piece here. Okay. And that way we'll be able to bury our ribbon ends. Why don't I remember to use this little tool? I always forget I got that thing. bow to be right here. Like that. Now I need to be fairly close to the edge. Like so. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. Can you believe how done was I? Oh my gosh. I want it on this edge. Oh well. I'm going to have paper over there anyway. What a goof. It needs to be over here. Oops. What a crazy person I can be. There's that. Throw that away. Let me get another little piece here. What a goofy girl I am. I'll put that one down good. Okay. Now let's try this again with the tape in the right place. It helps if you put it in the right place, doesn't it? Okay, so we want it right about there. And then we'll bring it down here and just wrap it around. And it'll hold it in place for me. Just like that. Turn this one this way. There. I don't need all this extra. Now we can put down the inside piece, which is this one. And yes, I've inked it. Uh-oh, I forgot to put my pen on my glue bottle. I hope it's not stopped up on me. I forgot all about it. Let me run the pen in there. Nope, looks like I'm safe. Okay, so we can glue this one down now. Get this position because that score tape's going to grab it like crazy. Okay, we're good. This piece can go in here. We're ready to put this one together. So I want to put this in here. Like that. Just shy of the bottom, just a hair. And we're going to glue this down. And this one down. this one down. And you won't have the problem of your inserts getting caught on this bottom flap like they do so often. That was a trick I learned from Tamara. She did that on one of her recent, and I thought, how cool is that? Okay, and then this will go in here. And I might have to trim it off a little bit, because this needs to be right here. Yep, I need to trim it off just a hair. Just a hair. Okay, let me put it in my cutter real quick. Let's see what that does. See if that gives me enough room. I'll take just a little bitty more hair off of it. I think I will like that better. Just a little bit more. Okay, now let me ink it again. And that is going to, yeah. And that's going to fold okay. And that's going to fold okay.
Is that ready?
Okay. This one rolls this way, and this one rolls this way. Now we've got our back piece. And I'm kind of at a quandary whether I want to use this one or this one. You can tell I love that. I really want to use this. I've got to trim that. Tip mark. I want to trim it. And my length is okay. I'll trim this off real quick. This one yet. Let me dry fit it and make sure it's, yes, it's okay. Okay. Put this on the back. I love this pink mitten paper. something for the two spines. And I will get to that shortly. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't put the magnet on there. I told you I was going to use a magnet and I didn't do it. I'll have to come up with a way to hide my magnet because I need one on there. Darn it. I hate when I do stuff like that. But I'm good at that. I should have put it on there when I was talking about it. Alright, I'm going to put a clip on here just to hold this. And I'm going to look at my embellishments and see how I can hide that. And then we'll go from there. And tell me if this says record.
Ma'am?
Does this say record? I think. Okay, so what I decided to do was, I had this Noel in my stash. I put a little, I had to use the tiny magnets. I prefer the larger ones because they have such a stronger grip. But I couldn't hide it behind this Noel. So what my thinking is I will do some holly leaves and berries, and I will use it to cover up the opposite side of the magnet. And I'll put a piece of red cardstock behind this magnet to cover it. And then I'll use some holly berries and leaves there, and that'll cover that. So that's how we're going to fix that problem. So I did cut 2 pieces of the Christmas lights paper to put in these, and these are 1 1/8 by 9 7/8, and they're going to go on these 2 spines. Then we'll have all our base pages down, and we'll be able to start on our pockets. Okay, so let's glue these down. Barely got this on there, and there is a little hole here because that is supposed to be an ornament, but I'll take some red Nouveau drops or something that I've got in my stash and fill up that hole so the blue paper doesn't show through. Let's get the, oh no, come on now, turkey. What'd I do with my pen? I lost my pen. What'd I do with it? It's here somewhere. I took my pen, there it is, out of my glue bottle. And I didn't put it back like I was supposed to. Oops. Let me lay it right here. Sticking to me. Okay, so we're going to glue this down. Get these 2 pieces down, and then we'll have all our base papers down. Looks like this is just a hair long. I'm trying to just snip it off of there. And of course I trim it crooked. See, I didn't dry fit it, that's what happens. That one's okay. So we'll put this one down. And we can put some pockets in and then start thinking about embellishments. So there's this one. Perfecto. These papers are so whimsical and so cute, but they're very busy papers. So you need things like these color on color that are almost like a solid to help you get through. Okay. So these two pockets are the larger pockets. And these are going to go over here. So I want to glue, I did trim this one up. Haven't done the other one yet. Let me get rid of these pieces here that are driving me crazy. They're in my way. I can't scoop my album back. There we go. I'm going to burnish these edges again. Make sure I got nice sharp creases. And I can see a little blurb here where I didn't get into my corner good. Still got it there. Here we go. Now we want to glue this down. And then we'll make the other pocket. We've got 4 pockets. On here nice and even, as even as we can. Now if you want to put a notch in this, this is the time to do it. And I do want to. So I'm going to use this little square punch. Get it as center as I can. And just punch it right here. And then we'll ink it again. That one will go here. And do I really want a second pocket up here? I don't think I do. I think I just want to keep that one for some longer photo mats and tags. Let's just do it that way and leave this one off. And we'll make the 2 smaller pockets. And they're here. So I've got this one made up. Just want to burnish it. I just finger pressed it in place to get a measurement before for my design paper. Let's do the other one. These are the 4 by 4 1/4 pockets. So, this one. These in here. And we'll pinch these as well. Okay. We'll burnish them from this side. Let's get a dry fit. Looks pretty good. It actually has a little bit more border than what I normally leave, but it'll be okay. I'm going to put photos and tags in here anyway. It's going to sit on top of here. Should I sit it there? Got one there, that's for sure. Yep. That's where it's got to go. It's too big for there. Yep. It's got to about cover up that paper though, isn't it? Should I do both? I'm trying to decide now if I want one or two. Or if I actually want to put anything there. You know what, I'm thinking maybe I'm just going to leave them off. I think I'm just going to put this one down because we're going to have double pockets here. And it's just going to take away from that cute little penguin paper. Sometimes I just get carried away making pockets and flaps and stuff, and then I get to putting it together and I think, that might be a little too much there. And it sure can be. You can get carried away. And I'm going to leave this up just a hair from the bottom, and it's got a little bit of a border showing on the sides. So let's press this into place. I'm going to use a couple of clothespins. Spine here, I forgot about two, didn't I? And that one is going to need to be, might as well do the light paper on it as well. Forgot about that one. It needs to be about 3/8 of an inch. For that. Okay, I have decided I am going to go ahead and put one of the little pockets down here. I just like it there, and I feel like I need more space, more tuck spots to put photo mats and journaling and what have you. You can always glue photo mats to these if you want, but I just hate to cover up the paper because it's so cute. You know, so a pocket will let you put something in there, but still you've got your pretty paper. So, my glue's not wanting to flow. And then I made another change, which I don't know if you... Oh, come on, please. Stop that. I didn't want to come out. Sometimes it does this. I'll come out of there. There we go. Just being ornery. So we'll put this little pocket down, and then I'll show you the other change that I made. You may, while you're looking at this, you may have already spotted it. I'm just going to put this right down along the bottom and burnish it down really good. And then we'll have a place to put some more tags and photo mats and stuff, small ones. Now here's my change. Remember, I haven't glued it down yet. I wanted to show you. I cut a piece of scrap because I don't like the yellow. I had intended to put yellow in the waterfall to carry this across, but when I cut it, I didn't like it. So then I started putting everything down, and I thought, oh crud, I've got yellow, and I didn't carry it anywhere else across. So I cut this, and I measured down 1 inch, and then I just tapered these off so that it'll slide underneath, because remember I have glue under here. So what I'm going to do is just put glue on here. Across the top. And then right in here. And I'm going to slide it up under there and make it cover this yellow, because I don't want the yellow anymore. And nobody will ever know but me and you that I did that. Come on, slide down in there now. Cooperate, don't be hungry. See, and it, oops, let me slide this, see if I can, yep, push it just a hair farther. There we go. Nobody knows but me and you, those of you watching, that I did that. There's one pocket, and there's the, I need some more glue right here. I didn't realize I didn't have enough under there till I just did that. Okay. And let me get my baby wipe, because I see I got a glue ooze here. See, now that looks better. Looks a lot better. Okay. Now, let's put this little piece on the spine. I cut another piece of the light paper, and we'll put that on there, and then it just carries that all the way around, so it looks like it goes there. Not just like the yellow just plopped in there. It just didn't go with anything else. As far as the inside of it went, just didn't look right. I'm going to go to all this trouble and expense of making an album. You want to be happy with your end project. Or at least be proud to show it to people, you know. There you go. There's that. Okay. Now we've got our base album built. And like I said, I'm going to put some, maybe a little poinsettia and some leaves, and I'll just put a couple of little leaves up under there to camouflage that. I can't put a lot on it because the magnets aren't strong enough to go through a lot of thickness, but we'll figure out a way to cover it. There's always a way to work around something. So that's what we've got so far. I'm going to make photo mats and tags and what have you, and then we'll get back together. Oh, wait. Duh. Forgot the waterfall. We got to put the waterfall in. Okay. There's 4 pieces to the waterfall. And I did the teal and the pink. And I have already inked them, so I'm going to glue these down. I almost turned my camera off. How dare I? Gotta finish. Okay. And these are 4 4x6 photos. Let me move it down just here. Come on. Don't be hungry. There we go. That's more along the lines of what I wanted. There's one. And then we'll do the polka dot side for the pink. Now let me start from the bottom this time so I get it straight. There we go. There's that one. Another turquoise. sticking it over there. There's the third one. That one's not quite straight. Hold on a minute. That's better. And one more pink. Once we get our waterfall in, with our little pocket at the bottom of it, then all we have to do is make tags and float mats and some embellishing. Now, as far as embellishing, I didn't do a lot on the first little folio because I wanted to keep it very cut and dried for all of those who are actually new to crafting, and I didn't want to overwhelm anybody. But as we make more and more, then we can do more and more. That way you learn. Get over here. Yep, that looks good. Okay. So let's burnish each one of these under at the score line. Looks like I got off on my score line here a little bit. It's got a little bit of red on it, but not very much. I think it'll be alright. Okay, so we're going to start with the first turquoise and put our glue down. Right center at the top. In the pink one. I'm normally not a pink person, but this paper has just really got me liking this pink. Okay, now right against this one. Don't overlap, keep it straight. Bring this one down, make sure you're matching. Looks good. So we can burnish this one. Next turquoise, or aqua. Right up against that one. And down. Still looks good. We're on a roll now. And the last pink one. Yep. Okay. Let's burnish that. Now I'll add some white to the back side of these. And then we've got our little pocket. And I'm going to put the, of course, I'm going to put the little mitten paper on it. Oops. Get it all over me. Just like that. Oh, lost my scoring tool. let's taper these edges and miter our corners. But it didn't leave much for that, did it? Such a little thing. Okay, so that goes under. This one goes under. And this one as well. This is just going to make a little tuck spot is all. Actually could have made a deeper pocket. Or added another. I could actually add another, and I might do that. I could add another turquoise. Be another 6 before you get in there. Okay. So let's glue this down. Let's get it across from those. You see what I did? I cut that crooked. I'm going to take it off. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. Don't get excited. I'll fix it. I got that corner too short, and it's not, see, it's an angle. I don't like that. So I'll cut another one, and we'll get back, and we'll make this one, and we'll do our embellishments. Okay. Since I had to, I'll be in there in a minute. Since I had to cut another pocket anyway, I just decided to go ahead and cut one at 2.5 by 5.5. I scored the 3 sides, and I'm just going to glue it down rather than make another one of the waterfall pages. And then we'll have plenty of pages, plenty of places to insert our tags and photo mats and what have you. So we're going to glue this down, and then we'll put that long accordion piece together. And that'll be the last piece we need to make other than photo mats and stuff like that, tags. So let's get this lined up. Center of the waterfall at the bottom. Don't want it to hang over. And we'll burnish that down. This red cardstock looks so good with this paper. I think this is over a little. Let me bring it up a little. Yeah, that's better. I knew that gap was different. Okay. And then we'll have a place where we can take this and turn it over so you don't see my Medicare card, and that we put stuff in there that'll hold it shut. We won't need a magnet there. I intended to put a magnet here and I didn't do it. I'm telling you, I forget everything. I'm old. Okay, so here we go. This folds this way. Minus dust. This folds this way and it holds it closed. Okay, so here's our 2 6 by 12s. We're going to join those together, and let me move this out of the way. And we're going to join it together with a little bit of glue. Just a very small amount. How about that? I'm actually going straight. Well, wonders never cease. Okay, let's scoot this down so I can get a nice straight edge. I'm just going to line it up. And see, I'm off a little bit at the bottom. I didn't cut it perfectly 6.5, but I'll trim that off on the paper trimmer after I get it all scored. It won't be a problem. Is that straight? Yes, it's straight. It's just off on my measurement. Don't want that glue seeping out. Okay, so we need our scoreboard. Let me put this pin back before I forget again. Have glue dried up. Here we go. Okay, scoreboard. Now on my scoreboard I have a white line at 6 inches. And that'll help you with this if you have yours marked like that, because this is really long and your scoreboard is not. So we're gonna score at 3.75, 3 3/4. Then we're gonna score at 7 1/2. And our next score line will be 11 1/4. So we're going to score here 11 1/4. Now because you don't go all the way down, have I got that straight? Yeah, I just don't have this in. It'll be okay though. So if you move this score line down to 6 and then score, look at that, that's crooked. Oh, you big dummy. Let me see if I can get that off. Let me cut it. We're going to have extra anyway, so it's no big deal. Of all times to do something stupid like that, but we're all human. We do goofy things sometimes. I'm just going to cut this off because I didn't get it on there straight. I should have put it on my scoreboard when I glued it together. That way you'll always get it straight. Okay, there's my seam. There's no seam there. So let me cut this off just a hair. I want to cut off that seam right there, because we're going to have about 1.5 inches extra anyway, so it's no big deal. And while I'm at it, I'm going to trim this long piece up to match the other one. It's just a hair off. Son of a gun, how did I manage that? I'll take a hair off of this one real quick. Make it match better. See if that does it. That ought to be enough. Okay. Yep, it's perfect. Okay, so let me put a little bit more glue on here. See, if you always put things in your scoreboard, it definitely gives you a straight edge. So, oops. Actually, that's got a piece of that. Let me mark that off. I'm going to trim it again. It's got a piece of that where I scored it together before, where I glued it before. And I don't want that lump in there. You can see it right there. I'm going to take that off of there, because we've got plenty of space. Okay. You want to get it right. Okay. So back in the scoreboard, I'm going to move it down. Put a little bit of glue right here. If I can't do it right, I don't want to do it at all, you know what I'm saying? Especially if I decide an album is something I want to give as a gift. I want it to be right. And see, that's right up against there. And that'll be perfectly straight. I do that when I make, when I have to fold something in half. Like a card, I bring it together and always match my corners in my scoreboard, and that way you always get a perfect match. Okay. Now, this seam to 6. Put your score line right on 6, and then score it 9 3/4. Move that one to 6, and score it 9 3/4. And we'll do it one more time, and then we'll cut off the overage. Move it to 6, 9 3/4. Now this we can cut away. Okay, and then we're going to accordion fold this, and we'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 pieces of paper for our photo mats. Alright. Alright, let's finish up the cover here and get it decorated. I had to cover my magnet, and I had another piece of this same paper, so I just went ahead and cut another piece and put it right over the yellow. So that covered that up, which was all I needed. And then these are from the sticker sheet, and I just put them on some red cardstock, and I'm going to glue those to the top of the cover. Oops, I just pulled off my little fine tip. I'll get too much glue if I do that. Just want the needle out. And if you have trouble when you're cutting these out, getting the round edge, I got glue all over me, just take an emery board, goodness, and smooth along the edges, and it'll take out any little imperfections you've got. Makes it look a lot nicer. Now these have a punch out on them, and I'm not going to punch it out. I've got some little brads, and I cut the legs off of them with some tin snips. I'm just going to put the S-N-O-W up here along the top. Just space it out a little bit. Squared away there. And then the S. Just like that. And get it farther over to the edge so we don't have such a big space. There we go. Right on the edge. And then I'm just going to put glue in each one of these spots where they're supposed to be. Your little metal piece makes it look like it's stuck on there. What did I do with those tweezers? Yeah, I had a pair of tweezers out here. There it is. I'll put each one of these by brad in there if I can. Get a hold of the little turkey. I'll put the brad right where I put that glue so it looks like it's riveted on there. Get it before my glue dries up. Third one. The glue's already setting up. I might, if they come loose, I'll have to put more glue on it. But these are just your regular little, yeah, that one dried up too much. Let me put a little bit more glue on that one. Little brads, and I just cut the legs off of them, like I said. Makes them look like they're attached, but that way I don't have to run the. That one doesn't have enough glue on it. have to poke holes in it that way, because I don't want them on the other side of my cover. Okay. Put that one back down. Center it a little bit better. There. Okay, and then I have the word magical. Also came out of the sticker sheet. Put it on a little red cardstock and just cut it out. And I'll put it right across where this ribbon is. And then I have a poinsettia, and I had a die for the poinsettia. But I wanted to show you when you're doing flowers. I know they sell kits they say helps you make your flowers, but I didn't feel like I needed it. All I did was took my bone folder and I curled it out, rubbed it this way, and then I took a little paintbrush and just pinched it up like that, each one, and then I can glue it in place just in the center. Hold it down for a minute to make sure it catches good. And then the second one, I'm just going to stagger the petals. And push it down in the center. And the third one. And I did antique these with, or went around the edges with antique linen. I couldn't use the vintage photo that I used on the pages because it gave it too much of an orange hue. So let me hold that down. Okay, now I've got these little dots, and I'm going to use the green ones. I'll put about 3 of them in here in the center, and it doesn't make any difference if you have too much glue because it's going to dry clear anyway, but you want to make sure you have enough. Try to get them off of here without poking a hole in my own finger. There we go. There's one. I want 3 of them in there. I looked on the internet to see what color the center should be, and they were kind of a grayish green, and I don't have anything like that, but I thought this green would be okay. So that's what I'm using. And there's the third one. Let's get over there a little bit. Oops. Let me put a little more glue down there to hold it. Third one. This our glitter glue dries up pretty quick. Get over there, little turkey. They want to be ornery. There's that one. Turn this one back over. He's upside down now. There we go. Now stay right there. You gotta talk to him. Henry, where'd he go? There he is, stuck to my finger. There, finally. All three of them. Okay, now we have some leaves. And I'm going to do the leaves the same way. I'm just going to put them on the you can curl them down or you can curl them up, whichever way you want. And then curl them around your, and just put a little dot of glue at the base of it. And stick it up under there. One more. And curl it. And then curl it around your paintbrush. Just gives it a little dimension so it looks more lifelike. And we'll put this one over this way. And I did several, I wasn't sure how many I'd need. And the leaves I inked with black soot. Put some glue on that one. Okay. Right over there. Oops. Getting ready to glue and I haven't even curled this one yet. And put one down here at the bottom. Kind of fill it out. And one left. And I want to put a little stem. I got this little piece I cut that I curved. Oops, this is all dry enough. Look at there. Put it up under the leaf. There's that last leaf I've got. Put a little glue on there. I want him to look like he's on the stem. And then I have, that's going to mesh that out though. Let's put him, if you'll go like that. Yeah, that works better. And then I have, yeah, that's staying. I wanted to make sure those were dry enough. Then we have these little bud things. And I'm just going to curl those up a little bit. And put those along that stem. They're kind of hard to curl because they're so tiny. Really need something smaller. And I'm going to put a red dot in the middle of these. They're hard to get a hold of. still look like little buds. And then this little piece. These are just scraps. Pinch this one. I got black ink all over my hands, as you can see. I've been inking here this morning. Okay. Oops. I think that's good enough. I've got a couple more of these, but I think that's going to be enough because, yeah, I don't want it to go over the, it will a little bit. Okay, so now I need my red glitter glue. And this is just something I already had in my stash. Had it for years. But I just want to put a little red dot. Oh, goodness. That just came out like water. Let me whip that up. I'm supposed to do that. Like I said, they're old. Not getting any glitter. Just getting water. But it's really, really old. I just want some glitter. And it may not work. Let me see if I can poke a hole in it. Get done with this, I'll probably just throw it away because they're so old. Not going to work, I don't think. Let me take my glue pen here and I'll wipe it off. See if that'll help. Yeah, it had a big glob in there. Don't want any glitter in my glue. Let's see if it'll work. It's just probably going to blow up on me. No, it's not going to work. I'll get the yellow dots. Throw that in the trash. See if I'm not ready to go. Not sure what color this is. These are Nouveau drops. That'll work. Okay, let's put one, two, and three. That'll work. One, two, and three. Those are kind of running together. Okay. See if I can push that over a little bit. That looks pretty good. Now I'll let those dry. And meanwhile, let me move this out of the way until that Nuvo dries. It takes a little while for it. Now we can start putting our paper down on the insert, the long insert that we scored and folded last night. Or whenever we did it. I think I finished this last night. I have all my scraps out here. Well, not all of them, but quite a few of them. So what I'm going to do is use my small pieces to piece this together, and I have cut enough for 6 of them, and I'll do a couple of them and then I'll finish them off camera, but that'll give you guys an idea. You can always just do a full sheet if you want to of one color, but I wanted to use up my scraps, so I'm going to use the vintage photo just on the cardstock, the colored cardstock. And I'm just going to put pieces down so there'll be photo mats as well as journaling spots. Let me go ahead and ink this one on them here. And then all that's left to do is to make some tags. And you can use your cut-aparts. One sheet of cut-aparts has 12 small ones on there. You can use those. Okay, let's glue these down. I'm going to put this at the top. The noisy border. And burnish it down. Now when I get to the last one though, I want to put a ribbon. And you know what? I better do it right now or I'll forget, won't I? Let me get a piece of the score tape. And I'm going to put it right down the center, or what appears to be center to me. If it's anything like my magnets yesterday, I'll forget it, right? Okay, and I've got plenty of ribbon here, and I can cut off what I don't need. See, I got that too, and I forget it every time. What a goof. What a goof. Now you don't want to take it off. There it goes. Okay. I'm just going to put this down in the center. And then we'll tie this little booklet shut since I forgot the magnet. That way we'll have our ribbon ready for the front. Okay, and we can glue this down to the bottom. And that'll be a little journaling spot where you can put who's in the photo or the date or whatever. There's that. And then we'll go to the next one. See, it just makes an accordion. This one's going to go at the bottom. And now it's going to go at the top, like so. And then of course I got to get the pink in there, you know. Here's that one. Oops. This way you can use up all your scraps. And then the third one, is going to be 2 little photo mats like this, and this strip down the side. So let's do the ink. A little dab of blue. Sure I'm in the right spot. I can go over a little bit far. Let me put a little more glue on it. I didn't get it over far enough. Either that or I'll have to trim down my white pieces. But I thought I had it cut right. Just shy of the fold there. It should be right. Yeah. I just didn't have a placement right. And I'll continue on through all 12 photo mats, and then I'll come back with a walkthrough and show you everything that I finished up, the different tags and inserts that I've made. And they're all really simple, but I'll explain them to you as we do the walkthrough. Alright, thanks so much, and I hope you really enjoyed the project. And when you make one of these, I would love it if you would take photos and tag me when you post it so that I can see your complete project. It's really awesome to see what everybody makes. Thanks so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.